Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S. Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today's wonderful session. And today's session is also going to be very enlightening. We are going to be having lots of discussion. We are going to be explaining a lot of things, and I believe everyone is going to learn from this episode. But before we actually start, give me just a few minutes. Let me check something. I'm coming right now. So welcome everyone once again. Really do appreciate. We are seeing some people actually joining right now. Thank you. I see some people joined through the invite link. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't take it for granted. So we have been having quite a lot of questions, and I feel we need to have a live session that we would come and talk about the questions a lot of people have been asking. Some people have been reaching out, and they have been asking questions on social media. Some have been asking questions on DMs, and I felt it's quite important for us to come on this live session to actually answer many of the questions we have been getting. And I just started with one, or as you could see on the live session, we just have one or two questions that we have pinpointed, which were major questions people asked. But I'll be checking my gadget and I'll be responding to many of the other questions that we were not able to post, you understand, as a topic for today. So I believe this will be an avenue for you as well. If you have any questions whatsoever about Canada immigration, I believe this is the time you can also ask the question on this live session so that everyone will benefit from your questions, and will be able to learn from what you are actually going through right now. So please ask any questions whatsoever that you have on the comment section. You can join us as well live on the call. Do you understand? On maybe audio, on video. You understand? And as you know, for many of you that have been joining us for many of these lives, you know that we are on Instagram, on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're also on TikTok right now. So you can ask your question. We are currently live, and we can actually respond to your question as we are on live right now. Now, I'm going to start with the flag question that we have today, and the person was asking, is Canada immigration dead or alive? Is it dead, or is it still alive? And I don't know what you mean by Canada immigration. Is it dead or alive? Because Canada immigration is not a human being. But let me say, to an extent, I get the idea behind the question, that are people still relocating? Are people still moving to Canada? Or is it that it is no more available? It is no more, you understand, or people are no more using Canada, or they are no more moving through, um, you understand, moving to Canada. And based on the statistics, there have been some facts around Canada immigration. And I just went on Google and I typed the question, the same question the person asked me. I typed it on Google, and I want to see what Google will say about Canada immigration before I talk about my own, you understand, my own comments to that question. So Google said, "Is Canada immigration dead or alive? Can I still move there now?" Okay, that was the follow-up question the person asked. And Google, through the AI overview, stated, yes, Canada immigration is still alive and you can still move there. While the number of permanent residents admitted is being adjusted, it's not closed off. You can explore. Do you understand? You can explore various paths to Canada, including through the express entry system, the provincial nominee programs, or other specialized pathways. Now, through Google, we are reading Google now. For those that are on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, you can see what we are reading through. Do you understand? It states that here's a more detailed overview. Canada's immigration levels plan. The government has announced a reduction in permanent resident targets starting in 2025, aiming for well managed, sustainable growth. This means there will be fewer total admissions, but it doesn't mean immigration has been halted. That's the first thing. The second thing, they said there's focus on existing residents. A significant portion of the planned permanent resident admissions in the year 2025 will focus on those that are already in Canada as temporary residents, like workers or students. This is part of the broader focus on prioritizing transitions for those already contributing to what? Contributing to the Canadian economy. Now, another thing comes in this is the express entry. They said the express entry's online system manages application from skilled workers, and it remains a primary pathway for Canadian immigration. The government is still actively using express entry to select candidates for permanent residence. Now, take note of that. They said they are still making use of express entry to bring in candidates, to bring in applicants into the what? Into the country, right? Now, another thing they stated, which I want you to also take note of, is provincial nominee programs. They said provinces and territories also have their own programs to nominate individuals for what? Permanent residence, offering opportunities based on what? Regional needs. So if you want to go to a certain region in Canada, you can still go to certain regions in Canada, of course, if you actually meet their opportunities or if you are part of the people they are looking for. Now, there are other pathways. They said beyond economic immigration, now look at this, there are also pathways for family reunification, there are also pathways for refugees, there are also pathways for those seeking what? Humanitarian and compassionate reasons. Now, they said temporary residents options. Temporary resident options. If you are not yet eligible for permanent residence, you can explore temporary work or study permits to gain Canadian experience, which can later help you to qualify for what? Permanent residence. In conclusion, what Google is telling us is while the number of permanent residents Canada is admitting may be adjusted, the country is still actively seeking skilled workers and other immigrants through various programs. If you meet the eligibility criteria, one, for any of these programs, you can still pursue your dream to move in or your dream of moving to Canada. Now, that is all what was said on Google about is Canada immigration dead or alive? Can I still move there now? Now, my own comments on what Google stated for us. Even though, yes, of course, Google is very much right in some of the things or most of the things it states. Um, One thing I would just like to buttress is some of the facts that they brought up when they were talking about those that can actually immigrate or those that can relocate to Canada. Now, you have to understand something. Canada would always, just like every other country out there, they would always bring in people they need. They need. Please note, people that are required, people that are in demand, people that they know that they can't do without. And that being said, when it comes to immigration, Canada will focus on those that they want, those that are useful to them, and they will not do or they will do without those they don't want. So let me break it down to you so that you understand it in detail. When it comes to coming into Canada, if you want to come, if you desire to come to Canada, and yes, you have been working towards Canada immigration, maybe you have been getting it because I'm going to be reading some examples, some questions from other people that also sent me their um, questions on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram. And I quite understand that many people want to come into Canada, but one of the limiting things or the limiting factors that will not allow you to come into Canada as fast as you want to is because you are not well aligned to what Canada needs at that particular moment. Now, this is very good and this is very crucial. I made that same mistake when I was coming into Canada. I was focused on what I had instead of focusing on what Canada wanted. There's a big difference. For instance, in my own case, in the year 2018. Yes, I was a language teacher. Even till now, I'm still a language teacher. Do you understand? I teach language. That is what I do. Do you understand? But as at then, when I was coming to Canada, Canada was not just focusing or was not just prioritizing those that are coming into Canada alone, but it was prioritizing those that really want to what? Those that really want to be in Canada in the what? In the IT sector. Do you understand? As a result of that, I applied. I had my expression of interest created. I had my, you understand, express entry profile created. But it took me about a year before I realized that I wasn't getting selected. I had to, like, my profile literally got expired. And when I was to reapply or to recreate the profile, I had to now see that what else, which other experiences, which other work experiences do I have to show in order to get what I wanted? Because Canada, whether with or without you, Canada will still get what they want because there are a lot of people, you understand, unlike you, that they need and have what they want. So you also have to align your skills, you have to align your education, you have to align what your expertise to what Canada is currently looking for. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So don't just focus on what you yourself want, but focus on what Canada wants. When you focus on that, then you get that opportunity that you so actually desperately need, which is for you to enter Canada, you understand, successfully. Now, please note something. Someone is asking me again on what they call it on okay, that's Emmanuel. Emmanuel is asking me on WhatsApp that I want to I want to apply for Canadian permanent residency. Please, what are the necessities? What are the necessities? Now you have to note something, Emmanuel. When you are talking about Canada immigration have several programs. There are different programs for different sets of people. You as an immigrant, you are different in terms of the program that you can use to immigrate to Canada. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? What I mean is, if you don't look into those programs, you will not be able to know which one to qualify for. So let me break it down for you more. There are about 80 different, more than 80 different programs to come into Canada as a permanent resident. And each of these programs have different eligibility criteria. Though we have the basic ones, like, okay, you asked, what are the necessities? The necessities to come into Canada as a permanent resident are basically three. And I do always talk about them. They are basically three. You need to just focus on these three for the essentials, for the necessities. That's why, for instance, on our package, on our Canada immigration package, we have the package we call the essentials package. This essentials package, what will it basically help you with? It will help you to actually get these three factors, help you to sort these three factors so that you are ready for permanent residence. You understand? And you stand a very good chance of immigrating to Canada through permanent residence. For those that are on TikTok or YouTube or you understand, Instagram or Facebook, you can go on our website, aos.name.ng/pr. You understand? In order to visit our website, watch the webinar where we explained these three main essentials. There are still other factors that we talked about. You understand? But these three main essentials, these three main necessities are the things you need to get to be seen as someone that is serious towards Canadian permanent residence. So if you want to come to Canada, immigrate to Canada, stay in Canada permanently, then you need to have these three things sorted. One, you need to have sent your credentials to Canada. And what do I mean by sending your credentials? You need to run what we call the Educational Credential Assessment, the ECA. Canada needs to know that, are you educated? If you're educated, fine. Are you educated to the secondary level? Are you educated to the post-secondary level or the tertiary level? If you're educated to any of these levels, which of the programs have you done? Have you done the diploma programs like the National Diploma, the Ordinary National Diploma, the Higher National Diploma, the College Diploma? Which of the diplomas have you done? Postgraduate Diploma? Which of them have you done? Do you understand? If you have done the degree, they need to know as well that which of the degrees do you have? Do you have the bachelor's degree? Do you have the master's degree? Do you have the doctorate degree? They need to know. If it is just certifications you have, did you go to a vocational training institute for that? Did you go to the College of Education or polytechnics or monotechnics? Or where exactly did you get your certificate? And is it accredited by the educational body in your country? Those are the things they need to know for the first criteria, because once you send it for educational credential assessment, to whether be it Canada through maybe World Education Services, whether through ICES, whether through ICAS, they would evaluate what you have done before in the past. And once they evaluate it, they would see and level it apart with what they have in Canada. So some people may not have necessarily come to Canada to study, but the degrees you have, the diplomas, the certifications you have in Nigeria or in any other country you have may be quite the same, may be quite relevant. You understand? May be equivalent to what you should have studied in Canada. And as a result of that, you will be recognized as someone that has studied. Now, that's the first thing, the first essentials, the first necessity you need for permanent residence. The second necessity you need for permanent residence is your work experience. Canada needs to know, how have you been able to work in the past? Do you understand? They need to know, how have you been able to work in the past? Is it that you have worked in such a way that, yes, you have years of experience to show for it? Do you understand? Do you have months of experience to show for it? Or are you just someone that they can see and believe that, okay, this person doesn't really have a lot to show for the experience that person has actually done, or that work that person has actually done in his or her life? So you can't just use your mouth to say it. You need to show some evidence. You need to show some proofs. And how will you show some proofs? For instance, if you have worked in a place, you have worked in an organization before. Do you understand? If you have worked in an organization before, Canada needs to know that that organization that you worked for, how long did you work in that organization? Canada needs to know, if you have worked in that organization before, do you understand? What are the things that you learned in that organization? Do you understand? That is where your what? That is where your experience comes in. That is where your duties, do you understand? Your duties come in. Canada needs to know that, oh, this person, we are looking for, maybe for instance, a caregiver in our country, and this person has worked as a caregiver before in his country or in other country. Then what exactly can that person actually do in our own country as a caregiver? You understand? If they finally bring you in as a permanent resident or as a job seeker, or you understand, as a student, or any other way that you come into Canada. Now, this is very, very important. The second thing, which I said, was the work experience. The third thing that Canada needs to know before they can see you as someone that is serious for permanent residence, before they can see you as serious as someone that will come into the country, will be useful in the country, and will be able to give back to the society in the country, is what? Is your language proficiency. Canada has these essentials. They need these essentials. You can't just say that you want to come into Canada when you have not sorted this third criteria, this third eligibility criteria. And that is what? That is either showcasing your proficiency in English language, or showcasing your proficiency in French language. They need to know that, okay, you say that you can speak English. If you say you can speak English, then do you have your language proficiency examination results to show for it? Do you understand? Do you have that which they need to see that, yes, you have a tangible evidence to show that you are not just proficient orally, or you are not just proficient, oh, Kafilat, thank you very much. I see you liking our live on TikTok. Thank you so much for that. Now, they have to see that you have done some things, you understand, to show that, yes, you can converse in the English language. Do you understand? And you are useful. You are someone that they need to take serious, basically, when it relates to Canada immigration. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. Now, we are going to be taking each question. So if you have any questions as related to Canada immigration, please ask about it, you understand, on the comment section, and we are going to be taking each of those questions one by one, you understand, in this live session. As you know, here we are talking about the Q&As. You understand, the questions that you have as regards or relating to Canada immigration, and we are going to be trashing those questions here right and now. Do you understand? And I'm going to be taking some questions from Facebook, because I think we got some questions on Facebook that I feel is quite important for us to learn about today. So I'll be going on my what do you call it now, on my Facebook Messenger. I would go on my Facebook Messenger and I'll be answering some questions that I actually got from some people that are actually following us and asking us questions about Canada through that platform. So if you also have any questions, put it on the comment section and we will do justice to responding to your questions as we actually, you understand, as we go today. Now, don't forget that please, you can also like and share this. Let more and more people join us. Do you understand? We would like to also have more and more people, you understand, interact with us on this live session right now. So let's really have, okay. So someone is asking me, okay, this is Fatima. Fatima is actually asking on Facebook that, okay, if, okay, let me, okay, the person is asking, let me ask if we should do Canada, or do you know someone for UK? Oh, okay. I mean, I believe maybe this person is asking about Canada immigration and UK immigration. Well, we talk primarily about Canada immigration. I don't really have much knowledge about UK immigration. So you can decide for yourself. I can't decide for you any which one you want to go to. If you want to go to Canada immigration, then of course we can always talk about that. You understand? We don't do UK immigration. You understand? We don't have any immigration lawyers, or you understand, how will I call it? We don't have any consultants that works on UK immigration. But if you need assistance on, you understand, Canada immigration, of course we can refer you to our consultants that would assist you with that. So you would have to decide. For me, for instance, I didn't want to go to a country that a lot of people, you understand, have gone to, even though yes, a lot of people have been in Canada as well. Okay, someone is saying, yo, sup, bros, red eye, Jedi. Yes, how you doing? How's everything? So you will decide where you want to come to. I can't decide for you the country you want to go to. If you really want to come to Canada and you see that, okay, Canada is a country that you so desire to be in, then start processing or start working towards your immigration through that. Do you understand? Okay, so let's move on to another question. I'm trying to look at my messenger to see if I could get. There were some questions that I got there that I wasn't able to respond to before, so I'll try to actually bring some of those questions here. We have a lot of questions on our what do you call it, A.O.S abroad page on Facebook. So on that Facebook page, we're going to be going through that page and answering a lot of questions. If you also have any questions whilst you're actually reading, or you understand, following us, you can drop it on the comment section and we'll go through some of the questions that you actually have right now. That would really help us to make this much more interactive. So moving on, on A.O.S abroad messenger, the page's messenger, I'm seeing some questions asked from some people, and we're going to be taking some of those questions right now. Okay, I really want to go to Canada permanently. Help me, bro. Well, this one is not really a question, but a comment. If you want to really move to Canada, then heaven help those who help themselves, as we always say. Help yourself first by actually going on our website. Do you understand? Go on our website. We have put the link there, aos.name.ng, and learn about what Canada immigration is about first. At least have the knowledge. Have the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge about what Canada immigration is about, then you can now choose well. if because there are about 4 pathways you can use to come into Canada, or 5 pathways. You understand? If we are to divide it into the various groups, you understand? Visit visa is one particular group. You understand? Under visit visa, we have business visa, we have family visa, we have there. You understand? Family visit. There are a lot of, you understand, visas under visit visa. Now, apart from the visit visa, we also have the what? We have the study permit. That is where a lot of people. Okay, someone is laughing there, Abdul. Of course. So we have a lot of ways people can come in through the study permit. Do you understand? The OSSD, which I was talking about earlier, you understand, in our previous live sessions, the Ontario Secondary School Diploma is one way a lot of young people, a lot of minors, a lot of children are using to come into Canada right now. In fact, many people are benefiting from that and are even using it as a yardstick to actually bring in their own family members. Do you understand? I know of one single mother that has a child that is in secondary school. Now, the child is running the OSSD program, and through the child, the mother is actually going to be coming into Canada as a guardian, you understand, for the child. The child can continuously keep learning, keep studying, keep, you understand, going to school as a secondary school student, just like the child is meant to do in Nigeria as well, while the mother, you understand, will be following another pathway, like going work permit, permanent rest. You understand? In order to be able to come here, to be able to work, you understand, earn money for family and take family. So if that is what you also want, the OSSD pathway is a very good pathway for you. You understand? If you're a minor or you have a secondary school student and you want to just use that benefit of that secondary school student to come into Canada. Also, the normal study permit people know about. Do you understand? The normal study permit for adults, if you want to actually come into Canada and you want to come study bachelor's degree, you want to come study master's degree, you want to come study postgraduate diploma, college diploma, you understand, a lot of programs. Thank you, Akin. Let's say Michael. Really appreciate your likes. And Kafilat, thank you for your likes. So if you want to come study masters, come to study any program you can study in the postgraduate level, like, you understand, in the tertiary level, in the, you understand, in the undergraduate level, then you can come through that study permit. That is the second way. I talked about the first way, which is the visit visa, which has many visas under it, like the business, you understand, the family visit, and all other tourist visa and things like that. I also talked about the study permit. Now, the work permit is another group of visas you can actually get, temporary resident visas. You can come and work as a temporary foreign worker. Do you understand? And you can come, for instance, if you want to come to Canada to work and be able to gain experience. There are some programs we call the International Experience Canada program. That program is for people in Ghana, in Canada, in UK, in France, in Germany, in other places that want to actually come and work maybe holiday jobs. They want to do holiday jobs. Maybe they are in school, but they want to come to Canada to gain some experience before they go back to their country. Then you can come through that. If it's a temporary foreign worker visa you want to get, you understand, in order to, maybe for instance you're in Nigeria and you want to come and work for 1 year or 2 years in Canada, through the work permit you can get the job, you can get the work permit to be able to come to Canada and work. Do you understand? And there are some programs that are so much linked to permanent residence that you will be able to actually not just work, but switch that work after you have worked for a year or two, like the previous caregiver program, or even the new ones that they are actually introducing now, like the rural community immigration pilot, like the francophone community immigration pilot. All those programs are programs that you can use to, first of all, come into Canada as a worker under work permit. And after a year or two, you can actually switch, do you understand, to become a permanent resident and stay in Canada permanently. So if that is what you want, again, of course, you can actually get it and you can work towards it. That is the third way people are using to come to Canada. The fourth way people are using to come to Canada is what we know as the permanent residence pathways. And a lot of people know about the permanent residence pathways. Do you understand? Express entry is so popular amongst people. Provincial nominee programs, so popular. Quebec skilled worker program, a lot of people are using it to come into Canada directly from their home country to Canada. For me, I use the provincial nominee programs. I use specifically the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP. You understand? And the stream I came under was the French speaking skilled worker program. So if that is one of the programs you also want to come through to Canada, you can also do it once you are qualified. And as I said, you have the essentials and you can actually become much more eligible for the stream. And the last pathway people are using to come into Canada or using to stay in Canada is the refugee or asylum seeking. There are a lot of like the humanitarian, the compassionate, you understand? There are a lot. There's only privately sponsored refugees, the publicly sponsored refugees, the group of five. You understand? The community spot. There are a lot of programs under what? Under the refugee status. You understand? So if you want to come in and become a refugee, seek asylum, become a refugee, that is the fifth and the final pathway you can use to come into Canada. I mentioned five. So note, I mentioned the visitor visa, I mentioned what? The study permit, I mentioned what? The work permit, I mentioned the permanent residence, and I mentioned what? The refugee and or asylum seeking. Oh, okay. Akinlord Seshi Michael is asking, that means you should be able to speak French. Yes, if you are coming with the stream, for instance, that I came through, of course, there are a lot of people that are coming through other streams that you understand is not part of my own stream. My own stream required I should actually learn French and I should take a French exam and I should have a result to show for my French proficiency. But for instance, my wife, for instance, she didn't need to take any French examination. Do you understand? My common law partner didn't need to. Do you get? She came as an English speaker. So if you want to come as an English speaker, fine, you can come as an English speaker. If you want to speak French, learn French, and have that background in French, yes, you can come. You understand as that. It depends on the stream and the programs and the pathways you are using to come into. You understand Canada. I hope that answers the question. Now let's move on to other questions that people are actually asking us. If you have any questions as well as we are taking this live session, this is the Q&A live session. So at least for about 30 minutes, we answer questions of people that are actually asking us on the what? On the live or on social media platforms, social media like Facebook, like Instagram, like you understand, and other places. Okay, let's move on. Adebayo, um, okay, Adebayo is asking, how can I bring my siblings? How can I bring my siblings to Canada, especially if especially getting job offer for the upcoming caregiver pathway that will be open next month. Oh, this person asked the question around February, but it is the caregiver program has ended. I think we responded to the person then, but we can just also use this platform to explain. The caregiver program, we told the individual then that the caregiver program, the upcoming caregiver pathway, which has ended now basically, was for those in Canada. You couldn't have been coming into or entering in Canada without what? Without being able to apply. Do you understand? And those that were able to apply were only those that had experiences that were living in Canada as at that particular time. Do you understand? So if you were not living in Canada, they didn't open your own stream for you. And that's why I do tell people that, okay, even though the caregiver pathway is no longer available for those that want to actually benefit from it, you can still come into Canada through other pathways that require caregivers or that require healthcare professionals. You understand? The express entry, for instance, requires healthcare and social services occupations professionals. So you can come into Canada through that pathway. If you cannot wait for that, the work permit is another pathway you can use to come into Canada. Be working in Canada as a caregiver temporarily, you understand? And after a year or two, just like those that were inside Canada, were able to get opportunity to apply for permanent residence after staying here for a year or two. You also can actually stay here for a year or two before you apply for permanent residence through, you understand, the experiences that you have gathered whilst you were inside Canada. So, of course, if you want us to assist you with that, if you want us to link you to our consultant who can help you with that, you can just visit our website, aos.nim.ng, and once you go on that website, once you click on the links, you understand, you would be taken to, or you'd know how to actually get started. Oh, okay. Good. Rotimi was asking, Please, how can I start? Well, you didn't tell us what exactly you wanted to start. If it is the permanent residence, if it is the what do you call it? If it is the work permit, if it's the study permit, but any which way, any which one you want to start, just go on our website aos.nim.ng/pr in order to actually get started with your what with your processing. Okay, another person. This is um engineer Taiwo. Okay, engineer Taiwo. Okay, this person said, I'm Ilorin base. I'm Ilorin base, and I have been struggling to go to Canada. Can I get your contact? Well, the simple way to get our contact is to actually what is to visit our website and follow the prompt on our website. If you have to book a consultation, you'll be able to book a consultation through our website, aos.nim.ng. Again, is our website. Just go there. The first thing you'll see is our webinar where we explain all what Canada immigration is about. Do you understand? Because we believe on you getting first educated. You understand? Get educated about what you want to actually dive into, so that you not just say, oh, I did not know, I was not informed, I did not do this. Know what you are getting into first. That is the first step for anyone that is serious to come into Canada. And that's why most times we don't, it's not everybody we work with, it's not everybody we, you understand, later take. Anybody that we see that is not willing to get educated first, those people we have found out at the end of the day, those are the people that will stress us at the end of the day. So it's better not to even work with them to start with. But if you want us to work with you, if you want to get started with your immigration, be ready to get educated first about what Canada immigration is. You understand? Once you learn about Canada immigration, then you yourself, you'll be much more informed that, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is why I want to do what I want to do. You understand? You will know the reason behind it. It's not that you just be following the crowd. Because another thing we have noticed is that a lot of people will just follow the crowd. When it now turns south, they will not be saying, oh, you did not tell me, you do this, you need this, we don't have time for that one. Get educated, learn first what Canada immigration is about. Once you learn about it, once you are informed, then you can be able to decide well. Thank you very much. I see Rose sent like a feeler. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And I see your likes as well. Really appreciate that. Don't take it for granted. So you have to learn first before you embark on anything. And if you want to embark on something and you are well informed, then you'll be able to take a better decision about what you want to do. And you know that, oh, the decision you are taking, oh, is based on your own understanding of what Canada immigration is. Nobody is going to, I mean, it is not going to look as if anybody forced you to do anything. Do you understand? You know that, yes, this is why you are doing it. This is what you know about it. This is what Canada itself says about what the opportunities that are abound are. And from there, you'll be able to, you understand, decide well and work towards your immigration yourself, or with the help of other people if you so want. Okay, now let's move on. Mary. Mary is asking on okay, this is a long one. This is a long one, so we'll have to read a lot for this one. This person is saying, Mary, hello, sir. I don't know how I can get in touch so as to ask some questions concerning my daughter and son, including me, in how to get this PR. Even if it means taking for the rural areas, then how much are we looking into? Because we are ready for that. Well, Mary, one of the best ways we always tell people to contact us. We don't always send our phone number to people or tell people to contact us on WhatsApp. We don't have time for that, because at the end of the day, some questions people ask on WhatsApp are questions they are meant to have known about before. There are things that, and that is why we have a website where we always refer people to. If you want to learn anything, you want to reach across to us, you want to, you understand, get to ask questions about what you know, what you want, visiting our website is one of the best ways you can actually get across. Do you understand? So if you want to get in touch, go on that website, aos.name.ng. Do you understand? You'll be able to see, firstly, what we do for people, what we don't do for people. Do you understand? How we work with our immigration partners. You understand? You'll be able to be informed about what Canada immigration is about. You understand? If you are working on your permanent residence and you said you want to focus on rural areas, that's good. You'll be able to know through our website the rural areas. For now, there are about 18 rural areas that the new rural and francophone community immigration pilot programs are actually focusing on. It is there you'll be able to know which are these rural areas and how can you get started. Some people have gone on our website and they are working on their immigration themselves because now they are well informed about what immigration is about. That's fine. Some, even after watching, will still need our assistance, no problem, but at least you will know that, okay, this is what this person, or this is what this association, or this is what this group, or this is what this company will do for me. You'll be informed. Do you understand? So go on the website, learn about what immigration is about. Do you understand? If you want to now take the next steps, once you have learned about it, once you have watched our webinar, once you have been informed, then there and there you'll be able to what? You'll be able to also get our contact details. Our contact details is there for you to book a consultation. You understand? For you to talk to us. They are there if you really, you understand, interact with the website. So again, I'll put the website on the screen so that you can actually learn and go on the website to get started on, you understand, reaching out to us for any of the things you need. Okay, let's move on. We are now moving on to, I think, Instagram. We have elapsed the questions on what do you call it now, on Facebook Messenger. Now we are going on Instagram, and this person is asking. This is who is this one now? Toyin. Okay, Toyin is asking, "Hello, Omo Iya Jamisi." Okay, this one is Yoruba. Hello, Omo Iya means my blood brother. I mean my like what's the Oyinbo self? The child of my mother, or the child of the mother, shall anyone? Jamisi, let me know. And how did you do it? How did I do what? Okay, how did I do my own Canada immigration? I presume how I did it is getting knowledge first. You understand? The first way I did my own Canada immigration is to get knowledge of what Canada immigration is about. And that is what we are preaching to people. First, understand what Canada immigration is about by going on our website, aos.name.ng/PR, to learn about Canada immigration yourself. Once you learn about it through the webinars we have done, you understand, we have done a 40-minute webinar, and sometimes we even did a 4-hour webinar, you understand, to educate you about all what immigration is about so that you are much more informed. That's the first way. I got knowledge. I sought wisdom first before I started. The next thing was now to work with those who are succeeded, those that have succeeded in the Canada immigration themselves, those that have track record of success. Those are the people that are now partnered with. Those are the people that I connected with to learn about immigration. You understand? To work on my own immigration. And through that, I was actually able to work on my immigration through the provincial nominee programs. The provincial nominee program, because express entry was so competitive, you understand? So I didn't use the express entry pathway. Rather, I used the provincial nominee programs under Ontario to get selected for immigration to Canada. Though I applied to about, I sent in my, what they call it, expression of interest to about 4 provinces, which I always talk about: Saskatchewan, Quebec. You understand? Which other one? I also sent it to um, Prince Edward Island and Ontario. But at the end of the day, Ontario finally selected me, and it was Ontario. It was 2 provinces that selected me actually, Ontario and Quebec. You understand? But because the person I was coming with, which was my common law partner, you understand, couldn't speak French, I came into Ontario because Ontario is much more secure, and because I loved Ontario, you understand, more than Quebec. I came through Ontario. So Travels and Tours is asking, I am trying to get my PR. If I can secure a job in home childcare and acquire experience on the job, can I use that to apply for a PR? Absolutely. Travels and Tours, you can use your job in home childcare to get experience first. I think I've said it before in this live session. You can first get experience when you come into Canada, working for 1 year or two, you understand, consecutively. And once you have gotten experience in that line, you can either apply through Canadian Experience Class under the Express Entry, you can apply under provincial nominee programs under what PMPs, you can apply under Quebec Skilled Worker Program if you are working currently in Quebec. You can apply through the Rural Community and Francophone Community Immigration Pilot Programs, the new programs that are actually coming up right now. So, of course, you can apply through a lot of programs. The question is, are you ready to actually get started with your immigration? Do you understand? Are you ready to get started with your immigration? Are you working towards your immigration and not, you understand, not procrastinating about it? Now, another question, a follow-up question actually from Travels and Tours again is, and what other province apart from Ontario can I easily get a PR? I think I've talked about that. I said um, Ontario is one province that a lot of people are competitive about. So, for instance, I focused on Saskatchewan, I focused on Prince Edward Island, I focused on Quebec, but at the end of the day, Ontario picked me. But so because Ontario picked me, I came to Ontario. You understand? But if they didn't pick me, if it was maybe like just like Quebec picked me and Ontario, let's say it was only Quebec that picked me, I would go to Quebec. I'm not even bother about it because the idea is to enter Canada. You understand? The idea is just to come into Canada. When I come into Canada, I'll not be working on, you understand, either staying in one place or going to another place. But I'm okay in Ontario, so I don't think I can go anywhere. You understand? Or I'm willing to go anywhere again. Okay, let's move on. Another question from Malam Idris. Okay, Malam Idris. Malam Idris is asking. He says, "Oh, hold on, people that always ask for number." Malam Idris is asking, "Can I? Okay, kindly share me your WhatsApp contact for more discs. Can I call you? You can. I've told you on this live session, we don't give people WhatsApp contact anyhow because at the end of the day, we have found out a lot of people will just come and waste your time and disturb you on WhatsApp and just so basically go on our website aos.name.ng to actually learn about immigration. If you want to discuss, you can of course discuss. We can share our consultation session. You understand the link, so you can go on our consultation link, book a consultation, and once you book a consultation, of course, you would have a time that is allotted to you, and you know how to value the time and talk and ask major questions that are really crucial for your immigration. So you can visit the on our seller page, go on that link, book a consultation, and once you book a consultation, then we would of course actually be able to speak with you through the consultation session. I hope that answers your question. Now, if you have any questions on those that are watching live on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, you understand, or on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you can also send your questions. Just put it on the chat section or say it orally, and would of course be able to actually respond to you. So if you have any questions again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let more and more people know about this. You understand? Share it with your friends and your family that want answers to questions that we have actually touched on this live session. And don't forget, every week at least we come on live at least once to answer questions. We come on live to talk about trending issues. We come on live to, you understand, give news updates about Canada immigration. And if you enjoyed this, if you want to be part of this, you can always, you understand, subscribe, hit all the notifications to get notified anytime we drop a content or we are live, you understand, so that you can join. And you can of course always join on live on video, on audio, to actually ask your questions or drop it on the comment section. So thank you very much, everyone. Really do appreciate everyone for joining. Don't take it for granted. And I do hope you have a nice weekend ahead. if you don't have any questions to actually ask me again. So au revoir, bye everyone, and